Hi there, this is Chris, Champion Cup Motor Legends. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a new suit from the Swedish brand Halvarssons. It's a laminated suit and it's called the Dalen. And please remember, if you like what you hear, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Before we get into Halvarssons' new laminated Dalen suit, I wanted to get a few things off my chest. And that's because whilst I accept that laminated garments offer some benefits to some people, laminated jackets and pants have a much higher propensity to fail. And by fail, what I mean is leak. And that's because they are intrinsically more difficult and more complex to put together. All it takes is one piece of tape to be improperly applied and the result will be water ingress. Now, in the commercial world, in the motorcycle world, every manufacturer is in a constant battle to offer more utility for less money. And so an obvious way of achieving that is to cut corners, to allocate perhaps less time to the making of a jacket or pant, or to save a few bucks by using slightly cheaper fabrics and materials. But when it comes to laminated garments, that's a recipe for disaster. The problem is that almost every motorcyclist has convinced himself that if he's going to go out in the rain, he needs a laminated outfit. Now, clearly that's complete bollards. 95% of motorcyclists do not need a laminated outfit, but they're often swayed by some know-it-all down the pub who told them that they did. And so there are lots of laminated motorcycle jackets and pants out there, and they tend to work fine for those who rarely go out in the rain. But the more you ride in the wet, the more likely it is that your jacket or pant will fail. Now, if that happens within the 1, 2 or 3 year warranty period of your garment, you will be covered. But after that, you're going to be on your own. And in our book, a motorcycle suit that only does its job for a couple of years makes absolutely no sense. And that's why historically we have always been of the view that if you wanted a reliable laminated jacket or pant, you should go for something with a Gore-Tex membrane. You will pay a little bit more, but with Gore, the membrane will be guaranteed to be waterproof for life. So if your jacket springs a leak, I don't know, in 10 years time, Gore will repair it, replace it, or sometimes just send you a check. And Gore's guarantee is a guarantee that stands up, it really does. No other manufacturer of membranes guarantees its membranes, but Gore feels it can because it has confidence firstly in the quality of its membranes, but also because Gore instructs the manufacturers how to put their garments together. They simply do not allow them to cut corners. And so if you want reliable protection from the wet stuff, you have, it seems to us, two choices. You go for something with a drop liner membrane, or if you insist on going laminated, you go with something with a Gore-Tex membrane. For us, it has long been that simple. We like the Halvarssons brand. They make solid, dependable gear, but they have in the past struggled with their laminates, and their failure rate has historically been higher than we're comfortable with. Come into the shop for a Halvarssons laminated suit and we'll always explain issues to you. But those who didn't ride big miles were often prepared to accept the risk that their garments might leak, whilst many others simply could not afford the extra cost of a garment with a Gore-Tex laminated membrane, because as I've mentioned already, they will always be more expensive. Now, Halvarssons as a company was sold a few years ago. They dropped our favourite drop liner suit, and we didn't think that many of the laminated outfits that replaced it were particularly up to the mark. Indeed, we felt there was a bit of a drop across the entire range in terms of quality. But it's clear that Halvarssons has listened to criticisms, and their latest laminated suit, the Dalen, appears to be cut from a different cloth, so to speak. We've taken the Dalen suit apart and we've examined it in great detail, and the taping looks just like it does on a rucker suit, and I suppose that's encouraging, such that we feel that we can really get behind the Dalen. Although in truth, only time will tell whether it's going to perform as one would hope. So what I'm going to do now is talk through the jacket and the pants in some detail. At the end, I will circle back to talk about pricing, warranties and so on. Because whilst the Dalen appears to offer good value for money, you are still only going to get a 3-year warranty on waterproofing and not a lifetime one. Halvarssons has done a great job with the spec of this jacket. They've thrown absolutely everything at it. The best fits from all the Halvarssons jackets that have gone before. And so they've managed to create a jacket that will protect you from the elements just as well as it will protect you in the event of an accident. The jacket's going to be comfortable to live with and easy to wear. We also, I have to say, like the way it looks. Anyway, let's get into it. The outer chassis contains a good deal of stretch, and we're seeing this lots more in motorcycle jackets, and I think it's important because who doesn't want to be comfortable on the bike? You also get Concertina stretch banding in the elbows and behind the neck that further contribute to that sense of a cosseting nature with the Dalen. You also get elasticated straps here at the waist and on the biceps. Another nice little touch is a soft panel at the front of the collar that cushions the Adam's apple. I've got to say, overall, comfort is really what the Dalen is all about. But none of this means that the Dalen gives anything away in terms of protection, and indeed the jacket is rated AA for abrasion resistance under EN 17092. Now, Halvarssons cites the use of a material called Halvarssons for extra reinforcement on the elbows and the shoulders. You also get these Kep Protect style panels on the shoulders and down the forearms. But this does not necessarily mean that these components deliver abrasion resistance over and above the AA standard. It may just be that those components are the reason why the jacket meets the AA standard in the first place. That, I'm afraid, Halvarssons has not made clear. Now, as we all know, EN 17092 is not an indicator of a garment's protective qualities. It is, as I've mentioned already, just an abrasion test. More important in many ways is the armour that you get with the jacket or pants. And the good news here is that in the Dalen, Halvarssons is featuring their latest super pliable, super vented and super large level 2 armour. We rate it, I have to say, very highly. What we rate less highly, I have to admit, is their optional level 2 back protector. It's not very nice, so we would always go for a level 2 D30 back protector with Velcro instead. Now, if you want to go the whole 9 yards, you could also add in Halvarssons chest protector. The 3-layer membrane in the Dalen is Halvarssons' own dryway membrane. Now, this is a tried and trusted membrane, and Halvarssons tell us that it scores 20 and 20 for waterproofing and breathability. I've got to say that's pretty impressive. Perhaps not Gore-Tex impressive, but it's impressive nonetheless. But with this membrane, you can be confident that you're going to stay both cool and dry in the Dalen. Another thing that Halvarssons always highlights with his garments is that they feature a DWR coating. DWR stands for durable water repellent, and undoubtedly that's the case with the Dalen. But in our view, it's no big deal. Every waterproof jacket or pant out there will be treated with a DWR. It's the DWR that acts as the first barrier to water ingress and to prevent the wetting out of a garment. One of the benefits of a laminated jacket, of course, is you get what is known as direct-to-body venting. Now, if on a jacket the membrane is laminated or bonded to the inner surface of the outer shell, when there's a vent in the outer shell, there's nothing to impede the flow of air through to the body. And so, to maximise this benefit, Halvarssons has endowed the Dalen with huge vents. On the chest, and both vents are accessed by twin zips. You then get a strap that goes around the centre panel to maximise the airflow through to the chest. You get a similar arrangement on the back. There are zips at the ends of the sleeves, and these can also serve as vents if you undo the zip from the top. In all honesty, there cannot be many better vented jackets out there. The Dalen is not a classic looking adventure jacket. In Halvarssons' world, that would be something like the Mora or the Sunny. But actually, the Dalen is going to work as well on an adventure bike as pretty much any laminated jacket, and I suppose much better than some. In terms of insulation, the Dalen is fully lined with Outlast. Now, Outlast is clever stuff that works well in motorcycle garments. It stores heat to keep you warm when the temperature drops, and it will absorb heat from the body when you start to overheat in order to help you stay cool. It's not an insulator per se, it's more a temperature regulator. But as high as our regard for Outlast is, we do have a bit of a problem with a fixed Outlast liner in a laminated jacket, because it will impede some of that much vaunted direct-to-body venting. Now, Dalen also comes with a thermal gilet, although I've got to say it's nothing particularly special. It's wadded with Halvarssons' own material, a material called Innoborn that is similar to Primaloft and Thinsulate. The vest could be worn as a destination jacket, but truth be told, the jacket is not a particularly stylish affair. I think our inclination would be to probably replace it with something more technical. The other stuff on the Dalen is really just detailed. So you get 2 external pockets that Halvarssons claim are waterproof. I think would be more inclined to consider them to be water resistant. Now, one of the things that we really like about the design of the jacket is inside the pocket here you've got this cutaway, and what that is designed to do is as you sit on the bike, your legs come through at 90 degrees. There is a tendency to push a jacket up into the neck, but by having this cutaway here, it will not push the zip, it will not push the collar into your neck. I think it's a lovely little touch. You also, by the way, get one pocket in the outlast lining of the jacket. There's no pocket in the removable vest. There is, however, a pocket on the back of the jacket, what's called a document pocket, obviously. At the neck, you get a removable storm collar. It zips on and off. Finally, you get a connector zip to allow the jacket to be connected to any Halvarssons pant. As is nearly always the case with a suit, the Dalen pants mirror the jacket in most aspects of design and construction. So you get the same stretchy outer shell, the same 3-layer laminated membrane, the same AA rating for abrasion resistance under EN 17092, the same level 2 armour, the same fixed outlast lining, the same removable innerborn lining, the same Kept Protect style overlays, and so on. You get 2 zip pockets and 2 cargo pockets on the legs. There are incoming and outgoing vents on the thighs. At the waist, you get a neat double-sided elasticated adjuster. For comfort, there's Concertina banding in the knees and in the back of the waist. There's a small patch of material in the seat. It's probably not real leather, but it's there to prevent you sliding around on the saddle of the bike. At the bottom of the legs, there are zips that enable the trousers to go over a touring boot or even some kind of crossover adventure boot. You also get a bit of high-vis banding at the bottom of the leg. Like the jacket, the pants cover a wide range of sizes. In fact, from a size 48, which is a 30-inch waist, right up to a size 62, which is a 44-inch waist. Now, in the past, Halvarssons trousers have often come in a short, regular and long leg lengths. Unfortunately, there's no long leg with the Dalen pant, but inexcusably, there's no short leg in the 2 largest waist sizes, those waist sizes being 42-inch and 44-inch. And that, I have to say, is simply a mistake. Now, our tummies are not always in proportion to our height. So as we put on weight, as we get a tummy, we do not grow taller. And in our experience, people with these larger waist sizes, they tend not to be 7 foot tall. They tend to be somewhat shorter of leg. And for these folk, it would have been nice to have had the Dalen pant in a short leg. Now that is something that clearly Rucker understands, but right now, Halvarssons seems not to. Still, I suppose it's not the end of the world. Nothing is ever perfect. The Dalen is a lovely suit. It's going to be nice to wear. You're going to stay dry in it and it should never wet out. If it all goes Peter Tong, the suit will protect you. Now the jacket costs £650, the pants cost £480. And whilst that doesn't make for a cheap suit, a little over £1,100 doesn't seem unreasonable for a laminated suit of this quality and of this spec. But it perhaps doesn't look like quite such good value when you compare it with something like the Rucker Calyx 3. Now, the Rucker suit costs £1,300, just £200 more, but for that extra £200, you get a 6-year manufacturer's warranty as opposed to Halvarssons' 3 years. More important, you get a lifetime waterproofing warranty with a Rucker product because it has a Gore-Tex membrane, whereas with a Halvarssons product, you still get just the 3 years. And so, in terms of warranties, the Rucker suit offers a lot more reassurance for not a lot of extra money. To us, £200 doesn't seem a lot for an extra 3 years on the product itself and the added bonus of waterproofing guaranteed for life. But here's the thing, if you're a police rider, and that's who the Calyx 3 was produced for, these longer warranties might be important because, of course, these guys are doing huge miles. But the Calyx is not a nice suit to ride in. It's functional and it does a job, I suppose, but it's got none of the bells and whistles that make a suit pleasant to ride in and nice to live with. And of course, with its outstanding ventilation, the Dalen is going to be so much nicer to wear in hot weather. Another option, of course, might be the Rucker Chemi. Now, the Rucker Chemi is the same price as the Calyx once you remove the back protector from the Chemi. But the Chemi is a much more comfortable suit. And it's more comfortable because it's got stretch in the outer fabric. But the membrane in the Chemi does not come from gauze. And so with the Chemi, you get a 6-year warranty on the product and you get the same 6 years for waterproofing, not the lifetime one that you would get with the Calyx. But in our view, the 6 years that you get with the Chemi is still way better than the 3 years that you're going to get with the Dalen. One might also, I suppose, consider the Gore-Tex laminated Latitude suit from Klim. Now, the Latitude is meant to be a road suit, but its baggy legs kind of suggest otherwise. The Latitude suit costs £200 more than the 2 Rucker suits, the Chemi and the Calyx, and so that would make the Latitude £400 more than the Dalen. But As with the two finish outfits, you're going to get a lifetime waterproofing warranty with the Klim. You'll also get Klim's somewhat misleading lifetime warranty on manufacturing faults. But our point here is really a very simple one. Not everything is as it first appears. We like the Dalen, but the more miles you do, the more important a warranty becomes. And it has to be said that 3 years is not massively reassuring at this end of the market. For not a lot of extra money, you can get a much better warranty, a much better warranty. Of course, the Dalen is so new that we cannot be sure how it's going to stand up to the rigours of motorcycling, and we just don't know how reliable the laminated membrane will be. But I suppose our view would be that if you ride, say, 5,000 miles a year, the Dalen will probably be more than you need. But if you're the kind of rider who rides 10,000 or more miles a year, then you might find the reassurance of the Rucker and Klim outfits with their longer product and waterproofing warranties a bonus. But as ever, it's a gamble. Nobody knows the right answer. Here at Motor Legends, we have long been the Halvarssons people. We've been selling it forever. We know their gear better than anybody. We know the stuff that works well and we know the stuff that doesn't work so well. And we know how it fits. Importantly, we'll be able to tell you what is going to work for you and your kind of riding. Now, these days, you'll find Halvarssons in the chains, but visit one of the multiples and you'll be largely on your own. You'll also discover that not many stores hold much of the gear on their shop floors, as it were. Even the largest places lack the space to do justice to the Halvarssons collection. In fact, we're the only place that's large enough to always hold all the sizes of the entire Halvarssons range in stock. And what that means is, if you do not want to waste your time, you should come and visit us in Guildford. As ever, we will do the job right. We'll tell you whether the Dalen is for you, and if it's not, we'll do that job right as well. Well, I hope you found that interesting. If you'd like to see more Halvarssons suits or more laminated gear, then visit the website motorlegends.com. If you'd like to learn more about the Dalen in particular, then if you click on one of the links on the screen, sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're down there, that will take you directly to the relevant product page on the website. Now, when you're there, you can check out the spec in a little bit more detail, you can check on availability, and obviously if you want to, you can buy the suit there and then. When you do buy from us, we try to make the process simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There is no delivery charge on anything you buy from us, any item of protective wear that you buy from us. Returns are totally free, and what's more, we give you a full 12 months in which to decide whether you do want to return something to us. Then we have the best price promise in the business. John Lewis was rightly famed for its never-knownly undersold price promise. We go one stage better. If you find anybody selling anything that we sell at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat that competitor's price by a full 10%. Now, there are a few terms and conditions associated with what we call our price beat. Nothing particularly onerous, I can assure you, but if you are going to attempt to price beat us, I suggest you go over to the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. In the future, if you'd like to see bulletins from us about new products, then if you go to the website, at the top of the page there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on there, within seconds you'll be in business. If, however, you prefer to get your information videographically, that is to say in this form, we'd be simply delighted if you want to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Finally, I'd like to make mention of our fabulous little shop here at Motor Legends. It's based about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station, and as I've suggested, it's a small shop, it's got a small footprint, but it's attached to our warehouse where we have more than £4 million worth of stock arranged over 3 floors. And that technically makes us the second largest motorcycle apparel shop in the country. But we would like to think of ourselves as far more than just the amount of apparel we have in the business. We're all about service, we're all about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. When you come to see us, we'll serve you only the finest Italian illy coffee or proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. And who knows, you might even get to sample one of our delicious motorcycle-shaped shortbread biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris. I hope to talk to you again soon.